Hello, this is Line 6 John B, and I'm here with the StageScape M20d. I'm going to show you how to make some subgroups and how you can utilize these subgroups for your global effects returns as well as for a subgroup for your drums. And then we're going to make a master group, and we're going to assign the mute of that master group to our mute mics button so that when we go to intermission, we can mute everything that's going on stage but still keep our media player going. This is very important. Now, we had a bit of a jam going on earlier. There was a drum set, a guitar, and a bass. Now I have a stage source L3T to my right. That's how we're hearing everything today. Now, so to create a subgroup, we have to make sure we're in setup mode, and then let's double click and open encoder. Let's rename this our effects because this is going to be our global effects return. So let's select our four effects. It's going to be our reverb, room reverb, our doubler, and our delay. Now I've already sent the snare, the guitar, and the bass to some reverb and some delay. And if I turn up this effects subgroup, you'll hear the effects on the snare and the guitar and the bass. And then we can then go to our perform mode and we can mute all of those effects, and we can unmute them. It's completely wet again. Let's keep this, well, let's just turn this group down for a bit. Alright, now we'll go back to our setup mode. Let's double click another open encoder, and now let's name this our drums. Let's make a drums subgroup. This is very common in live sound mixing. Hit enter. Now let's select our three drums. It's going to be our kick, our snare, and our hat. And the reason this is very advantageous is because I can control the input or the level of all three drums, of my entire drums, with just one encoder. Otherwise, I'd have to move all. I've already set all of these levels, and I wouldn't want to move those again. It's much easier to deal with one encoder. If we go back to our perform mode, I can then mute all of our drums. Now you may not want to mute your drums, but if that was a string section or a horn section and they were not playing for that song, it would be very advantageous to mute them because we want to eliminate as much on-stage noise that is unnecessary if we can. So now we're back in the setup mode. Let's create our main master subgroup. So let's double click another open encoder. Let's name this our master. And now let's select everything that's on stage. So it's going to be our kick, our snare, our hat, our bass, and our guitar. We already have a group for our global effects, and we want to keep our media player unmuted because the media player is not on stage, and we want that to still play while we have the stage muted. So let's click on OK, and notice I can control the level of everything on stage with just one encoder now. The drum subgroup is also moving, and the media player is not moving at all, which is up just above our master fader here, or our master group. Now, if we go back to the perform mode, you notice that I can now mute the master, which is what we want to work up to here. It's fundamentally what we want to do. But we also have this mute mics button. If I had the mute mics button, I can assign any subgroup or any mute to this mute mics button. So if I hit the master now, I can untoggle that master mute with the mute mics button. And this works with a number of things. I can go and untoggle the master, but let's toggle the drums group right now. And so now when I hit mute mics, our drums are back. Alright? Very important. Mute mics, untoggle drums, we're going back to the master. So, and we're back to the stage, the band's playing, they're finishing up their last song here, and at the end of the show, let's turn up some effects. There's some effects. Let's mute our effects. Let's hit our mute mics button. Let's quickly go to our tweak page. We already have a song queued up. We are at intermission, and we are playing our intermission music. The crowd is milling about, they're grabbing a drink, everybody's happy, and at the same time, the stage is completely muted. It's very important. Now, again, this is Line 6 John B with the StageScape M20d. Remember to utilize your subgroups. Have a good one.